there, good morning at 7:30. Welcome to Breakfast with Bridgett on this Thursday, May 9th, 2024. I'm your host, Bridgett Ellison, and I hope you are keeping cool because we have certainly been getting plenty of heat. And, if you look on your dashboard, thermometer in your car, just know that, that is a little bit inflated. But meteorologist Candace Campos is standing by with another possibly record-breaking day for us. You said it will be a little hotter than yesterday.
Yeah, our high is
Ugh.
yesterday, Bridget, was our high officially was 96, and today we're getting up to 97.
Ooh.
Leesburg, Sanford both broke records yesterday of 96, and we're going to get even higher than that. So prepare yourself.
Mm.
And I mean, listen, at the end of the day, at least we're not dealing with temperatures this high and the summer humidity. We've got kind of
Yes.
one or the other. With that being said, at points today, there will be that potential of feeling like 100 degrees in a couple locations. So
Ooh.
let's take it to the map, show you what's going on across Central Florida. Yeah, the big story right now is going to be all about that heat. As we look at those are not the wake up temperatures. Hold on.
And Candace, I put ice in my water this morning. Normally, I don't do the ice because I don't want to wake up the kids. I put ice in the water this morning. My big water
You
cup.
have to. Yep. It is funny how you don't want to wake up the kids because you do have to take like an ice cube at a time. Like you're
Mm-hmm.
like sneaking ice. Steve's laughing like I
Yes.
didn't think about that. Hottest day of the year is today. It was yesterday, but today said hold my beer, right? Best shot for some records also will be in the forecast. Friday and Saturday, it looks like we are going to still stay on the warm side Friday, but late Friday night and into Saturday is where we are anticipating the arrival of our next cold front. Brings about a 30% chance of rain. It's really not going to be a crazy event, but once it clears, the skies will clear behind it Saturday afternoon. We'll get to the 90s on Saturday, upper 80s though, as we head into your Mother's Day forecast nearing normal. So looking at your highs for this afternoon, even along our coast, we'll be tapping into those 90s. It takes a lot to get into those 90s, especially this time of the year on the coast because of our sea breeze. But because the sea breeze won't really kick into high gear until much later in the afternoon, it will allow those temperatures to really cook. So we'll be between about 93 and 94 along our coastline, even 96 potentially in Palm Coast. Further inland, we'll still be in the mid to upper 90s. So where do our records stand at this point in time? The record in Orlando, which is our oldest record on this grid here, set back in 1915 is a record of 98 degrees. We'll be very close to that. Sanford could get pretty much easily tying that. And even Daytona Beach and Melbourne, we're only about a degree or two shy of those records. Both, by the way, set back in 1978. So we still have that hot weather today and tomorrow, but then our eyes turn to the same system that's been causing a mess. Hail outbreaks, severe weather outbreaks. This storm system to our north will start making its way into Central Florida again late Friday night. So let's time it out here. Stopping the clock. This is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's the only cloud cover this
Hmm.
model is picking up this afternoon. So there's nothing to really slow down our heating. Then as we head into Friday, models have been holding on to some scattered showers all ahead of the front, but the front still to our north. That's not expected to move through until very, very early Saturday. So we're talking about more of those overnight hours Saturday morning. And then the sky is clear throughout the afternoon. Our winds veer out of the north, which will be lovely because that means we're going to start seeing that shift in our temperatures, right? So temperatures on Saturday will still be about low 90s. That rain chance at 20% is going to be a little earlier in the day. It's those overnight scattered showers. Then comes Sunday. I don't know what we did as mothers to deserve a day, one day only, where we're not dealing with either heat or rain, but we made it Sunday. It looks like it's going to be the best day we've had in a while. Humidity values will be a bit on the lower side, so it will, dare I say, be comfortable, especially compared to what we've been dealing with for the past couple of days. But we're going to stay mostly dry. So, outdoor plans, not a bad idea for Mother's Day. But then as we head into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, our rain chances are going to start surging back. We're going to start
There they
seeing
are.
yeah, there it is. We're going to start seeing kind of the atmosphere juicing up a little bit, which is great. So, we're going to trade the heat for one comfortable day, and then we'll trade that one nice Mother's Day for much needed rain that is in the forecast. In the next 20-25 minutes, we should be getting the new update of our drought monitor. Comes out every Thursday around 8 a.m., give or take. So we're going to keep our eyes on that, but we desperately need the rain. So the drought monitor could get extended just because of how dry and how hot it has been this week. So we'll give you that update at the noon hour. But just, it's one of those things. We just got to take it one step at a time. We're going to deal with the heat for a few days. We're going to have a nice day on Mother's Day, and then we'll be dealing with dodging the rain and a few strong storms potentially by next week.
All right. Well, we need the rain. I know the storms are a little bit scary sometimes, but hopefully nothing too rough next week for us.
Yeah, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. A big shout out to Trooper Steve back there. Look at him. He's finishing his breakfast. You see him?
Oh, well, he's up next.
You're up next. Get ready. He's ready for you, Bridgett.
All right. Well, we're gonna check in with you later, Candace. We'll see you later, and
Right?
I'll let Trooper Steve. Hopefully, he's finishing chewing. He might be mid chew.
Let's see. See him.
See what's going on with the roads too.
Deal.
So,
bye.
All right. Bye. There you are. What's for breakfast?
Toast, hash browns, and corned beef.
Ooh, where's this from?
It's breakfast with Bridgett, so I figured let me have my breakfast.
Where is this from?
Shakers.
Shakers.
It's good, but man, it is so expensive.
Oh, it is. It is. I love their I think it's called the Mongolian beef cabbage soup, and I tried to make it one
Yeah,
time.
I've heard this. I've heard of
It
this. They
is
don't offer for
legendary.
breakfast, but it's like a lunch thing. Yeah, and people
You
talk
can
about
get it
this all over
anytime,
town.
though, I think. Have you
Oh,
tried
well,
it
the
yet?
app didn't have it. No, the
Oh,
app didn't have it available, but I have heard that by
maybe
so
secret
many
menu.
people. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah, it is legendary. I love that soup. So, yeah, get that next time.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is
So I
great.
guess the
I'm
roads
at.
are okay because you got a mouthful there.
Well, listen, just because I'm eating doesn't mean I can't do my job, Bridget.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
let's check on these roads. So down in Kissimmee right now, we are watching this earlier crash off of John Young Parkway there at Ballpark. So Sky 6 left, but it's still there. If you're getting ready to leave like the Kissimmee area, maybe even Buenaventura, this could slow you down. So just be cautious outside of that. Your I-4 drive times, 30 minutes, Kissimmee to downtown, 21 coming in from Lake Mary. This is a real nice drive time for a Thursday. I always think it's leading up to a Friday. People are just chilling out there. I-4 at around Maitland Boulevard. You can see things moving good. Even inside your express lanes this morning, the sun is shining. I walked outside. It is hot, but it is beautiful. So just embrace it a little bit. Eastbound I-4, we're slow, but this is routine out in the Champions Gate area by our attractions. Great day for either a beach or if you're brave enough and hydrated enough, maybe the theme parks. But traffic not too bad. Sand Lake and Skyview still watching this one by the Florida Mall. If you're traveling out there, this could slow you down briefly. And then one just south of there in the Taft community, Land Street at Trustway Boulevard, reported with an eastbound blockage. So just again, be careful. Lake Nona, Simpson Road, no problems there along Narcoossee. And then Buenaventura looking pretty good. So like you said, Bridget, pretty decent start to our Thursday. Some little stuff here and there, but nothing that's going to really throw us off. Just make sure that before you hit the road, you get breakfast, you're watching Bridget, you're going to be good to go.
All right. So how's the training going?
Training is going good. For those that don't know what training it is, Bridget knows we're going through a new traffic system here in the Weather Traffic Center. I'm going to be catching up with the weather team and using their new system. Really excited to bring this to you. The goal is to try to bring it to you guys tomorrow, and it just gives me and our team an opportunity to really enhance traffic, even though I think we do traffic better than anyone else here in Central Florida, let alone the country. But now that we're going to get this different program, it's going to look a little different. We're going to get to do different things. So it's fun. I tell you what, Bridget, these meteorologists, this program, you could make it do anything. It's kind of scary. So the fact that the meteorologists are so good with it lets us know we got some geniuses around us. So it's pretty cool.
I'm excited to see all of the new features. So hopefully that preview tomorrow.
I'm hoping, but we know how things go. We'll see.
Okay.
I'm hoping for it, though.
But back in the truck Monday.
Back in the truck, actually tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrow we will be back in the truck. And I have a special guest joining me tomorrow, meteorologist certified Jonathan
All
Kagas.
right.
Will be joining me tomorrow as we will be out at Sanford Airport for a hurricane kind of preparedness and a public awareness kind of thing.
Cool.
So I'll be out there with him and hanging out. It'll be a fun time. I'm excited to spend it with Friday back on the road with Jonathan.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, we'll see you then.
All right. Talk to you later.
Thank you. All right, so we want to get to some news, and Mark Lehman is covering this story for us this morning. The controversial new toll road in Central Florida might just be hours away from another big step forward. We're talking about the extension of Osceola Parkway that would need to cut through Split Oak Forest, and as you may know from our coverage, many people around that area do not want the toll road to go through that forest area. So this is just southeast of Lake Nona, the Split Oak Forest area. So Mark explains how the new agreement could be reached today and the vote by the Expressway Authority that is set for today, as well as people concerned about this plan moving forward.
Environmental groups voicing disapproval last week when Florida Fish and Wildlife signed off on a deal clearing the way for an extension of the Osceola Parkway. FWC lifting protections on 60 acres of land in the Split Oak Forest.
Every square inch of Split Oak is valuable.
Now the vote is going to the Expressway Authority. In exchange for the sliver of land through Split Oak, CFX has agreed to hand over more than 1,500 acres of land nearby, along with $66 million to maintain it.
We viewed this as an opportunity to get from the folks at CFX additional land.
FWC's chairman, who's in California, spoke to us via Zoom. He says the exchange is something that everyone can benefit from.
We feel this is a very big win-win for the public. Now, I know that the folks who are against it don't view it that way now, but I think in the future they will.
Critics, meanwhile, say it's not a fair deal as the land through Split Oak has a higher environmental value.
We cannot continue to trade beautiful land that nourishes us for more roads.
And Mark Lehman is standing by live this morning. Mark, this has been something that we've been covering for a while now.
Oh yeah, we've been talking with the people who are against this plan, a group called Friends of Split Oak. I spoke with the leader of that group, and yeah, she's been very upset over this. They've been fighting this for years, basically saying that they do not want that section of the Osceola Parkway extension to go through Split Oak because it's such a valuable resource. But then we saw last week, FWC did decide to lift the protections on that area of land, basically because that they say the state is getting so much more land in return that can be used for environmental protection.
So this offering of some acres in this other area is connected to this plot of land, but not quite the same in terms of, I guess, the topography of it. Is that what they're saying is not really fair in the trade?
Yeah, it's an area nearby. It's 1,500 acres near the Split Oak Forest, but it's not part of it. And basically, the critics of this plan say that it's not the same environmental value. They say there's much more biodiversity in the Split Oak Forest that is home to different species of wildlife, trees and whatnot. And this area of land that's being donated just doesn't match what they're losing in Split Oak, even though it's 60 acres compared to 1,500 acres. Mm-hmm. They say that that 60-acre area, is just worth so much more environmentally than the other plot of land. But then on the other side of the coin, FWC and the Expressway Authority as well, they're saying that this area that's being donated can be restored and can become a much more diverse area when it comes to wildlife and different species of plants grown in that area, but it's just going to take time.
And I can see both sides of it. I'm sure you can too. When you think about the numbers, like you said, 1,500 is a whole lot more than 60, but then the value of what's there versus what's in this other plot of land. But then who's to say that the rest of the land is protected? Because if we say it's protected, is it really if a road can be voted to pass through there because it's needed? I guess is that eminent domain.
Yeah, and I guess eminent domain was discussed as an option, but they never pursued that route. They wanted to go this route instead. And that was the concern for critics of this plan, is that this could be a slippery slope. You know, if we
Mm-hmm.
lose this section of Split Oak, what's next? Is there going to be even more that the protections are taken away off of in the future?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, FWC says at this time, at least, you know, the area that's was approved to where the protections were lifted up, that's all that's being lifted up is that 60 acres, because originally CFX wanted 160, that was scaled back to 60.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, that's all that's being lifted when it comes to those protections. But there are those concerns of could it be more down the road?
Mm-hmm. Do you know what else they could be holding out for? What will it take to make it more amicable?
Well, I mean, this seems like a pretty much done deal at this point, because FWC voted to lift those protections, and then the Expressway Authority is now going to go along and proceed with their plan. We're assuming they're going to approve it today because this was their plan, and
Mm-hmm.
so it looks like, you know, barring any unforeseen circumstance, they're just going to move forward with this deal and build that extension of the Osceola Parkway, at least initiate the first steps to start building that extension, was going to be years down the road. But
Mm-hmm.
the Expressway Authority says that this needs to be done because of all the development in the area, and there's lots of, you know, housing that's being built nearby, and the people need to get to and from where they need to go, and that's what this solution is to build that extension.
Right, right. And I know you know, I know I've been out through Osceola different parts of the day, and it is so congested depending on where you need to get to in Osceola. And you just feel for people who, you know, maybe they've moved out there because the housing is more affordable, or maybe they moved out there a long
Yeah,
time ago because they had, you know, they had more of a rural feel and they don't like all the growth. And there's just so much to consider when you're trying to grow responsibly.
that's the thing, is that's the price of progress. A lot of people say, and that, you know, when we see so much more development going on, we're expanding outwards, and we got to build roads, we got to build infrastructure in these places, and it's the solution that has been come up with at this point, and looks like they're going to be moving forward with that and going through that section of the Split Oak Forest.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, again, environmentalists are saying that this comes at a cost, and just that the cost is too high.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, it has been very interesting to watch all of this unfold and certainly see people who care passionately on both sides. Mark, thank you for the follow up this morning. And I think, what time is the vote today?
Yeah, that's going to be at 9 this morning, is when the board meeting starts. There's going to be public comment beforehand. We're very likely going to be hearing from a lot of the same people we've
Mm-hmm.
heard from in weeks and months prior to this. And I imagine they're going to say a lot of the same things, but even so, the board will likely move forward with this plan.
All right. Well, there's definitely more compromise in place now than there was at the beginning of all this. So, all right. Thank you for the updates, and we'll look for more at noon.
All right. So thanks.
Thank you, Mark. Another battle going on between leaders and the community. Stormwater fees are set to go up in Orlando, and property owners there are concerned about this because technically it could cause some people's bills to double. And of course, they don't want to hear that. So last night they got a chance to talk to the city leaders about this proposal to raise those stormwater fees. City leaders say they have to do this in order to take care of the infrastructure that's needed. Ezzy Castro explains more.
We have flooding in my community, and the streets are sinking. Nothing is being done about it, and it's going to continue to be that way.
Homeowners in Orlando sounding off as city leaders look to increase stormwater fees. Public Works held a meeting at City Hall last night to hear what people had to say, with some arguing they won't be able to afford all of it.
Just explain the rate comparison of why Orlando, one of the municipalities, is not going to be the richest, okay?
There are some areas that are wetland areas, okay? They have a tendency to stay wet all the time.
Under the current proposal, smaller properties would see about a 50% increase, from about $80 a year to nearly $130. Larger homes could see a 130% increase, from about $137 a year to nearly $320 a year.
And so we'll keep you updated with follow-ups on that issue with the stormwater fees and why they're needed, why they're necessary in Orlando. Now we want to get to some breaking news that happened in Apopka yesterday. A plane had to land on a sidewalk, and this happened right near an Amazon warehouse. This was along 441 and 414 along Shelby Industrial Drive, and the single-engine plane had engine failure. Everyone was safe, though. No one was hurt. The 2 people on board were fine. No one at the nearby warehouse was impacted, nor the traffic nearby. But the NTSB is investigating. The plane lost a large chunk of its wing, but definitely a really shocking emergency situation out there in Apopka yesterday. Glad that no one was hurt. A follow-up now from Molly Reed. You may remember the story we've been following out of DeLand with animal cruelty, and the owner of these animals is facing many charges right now. She is out on bond, but yesterday some deputies adopted some of those animals that had been neglected. Here's Molly with more.
What is your dog's name? Are you renaming it?
The dog's name is Dutch, but we're going to rename it. We just don't know yet.
A new name and a new leash on life. Deputy Cletus Stubblefield and his wife Adriana are taking him home.
Here we are 48 hours later, and 3 of my deputies have adopted 3 of the dogs.
The 3 deputies first met the dogs Monday when they responded to the call from a swimming pool cleaner who saw animals in bad shape in Ashley Boucher's home.
Relax.
Deputies found 8 animals dead, but 7 who were ready to get some help.
My dog, you like me? You like me?
Did you have like a first connection with it or anything like that?
Yeah, when he tried to bust through the window. I brought him out of the house first, and he's been energetic and loving ever since.
How does this kind of compare to the other kind of animal cruelty cases you guys typically see?
This is the first one that I've seen where a dog wasn't already gone. Like, I actually see the dog starving and the nature of how it's living and everything else. So it hit a little bit more at the heart.
So this was a pretty unique case as far as adoption, but it was also the first time Volusia Animal Services was able to bring its new mobile clinic to a scene. That allowed them to get care to these animals much faster.
You know, without it, we wouldn't have been able to provide exams to the animals at the point that they needed it. And as you could clearly see with them, they did need some medical work.
Giving these 3 dogs and 7 reptiles a fighting chance to finally be in a loving home.
It's exciting. I guess we gotta buckle up and get ready for the ride.
And there's more good news. As of today, all 7 of the reptiles have been adopted out as well. In Volusia County, I'm Molly Reed, getting results, News 6.
That was about the happiest ending you could hope for in that sad story. So good to hear those animals now have loving homes. We want to get to another animal story. This one's a little bit funny, out of Marion County, where deputies were on an interesting chase with, you see it there, some goats. And that's Billy the Kid. Very hard to catch after escaping from its enclosure. The deputies did a whole lot of chasing, but eventually got Billy and rescued a second goat that was nearby, caught up in a chain link fence. But you just see, look at the baby there. Oh boy. So all in a day's work there in Marion County. Well, more animals still. The flamingos out at Discovery Cove want to meet you. The Flamingo Mingle is a new feature at Discovery Cove, which is an all-inclusive water park / animal experience. You get to be up close and personal with them, unlimited food and drinks, and you swim with the dolphins. Now you can meet the flamingos. And guess what? We're giving away a family 4-pack of tickets for this. And this is a great value because Discovery Cove is a little bit pricier than most of your theme park tickets because it is an all-inclusive and you're getting these up close and personal experiences with the animals. So enter to win that family 4-pack of tickets right now over on the Insider page at clickorlando.com. And this is clickorlando.com/insider. Now, Insider is our free program. It's free to sign up. And then you have access to exclusive content as well as those contests. And so you'll be able to enter to win between now and next Tuesday. So make sure you check it out and see if you can win those passes because, you know, summer is right around the corner. It's already hot here. So why not go out there and swim with the dolphins? Of course, we want to tell you more about Montverde because we're headed out there to go live next week. And so this is the 347, what is it, 3457 zip code, what is 34757. It's Montverde. And we want to hear from you if there are any other stories that you want covered, but we'll be live at Kirk Park on the 15th. That's Wednesday the 15th. And I know yesterday I thought it was the 17th, but it is the 15th. That's next Wednesday. So mark your calendars. Come out from 4 to 7 p.m. We'll be doing all of our news between 4 and 7 live there at Kirk Park. We want to meet you. The crew will be there, and we're giving out some swag. So come out and get some fun items and meet the team. We want to hear from you. And we'll have more details on that as we get closer to Wednesday. So stay tuned right here. And that'll do it for us this morning on Breakfast with Bridgett. Weather-wise with Jonathan Kegas is up next, followed by Trooper Steve on patrol. I'll see you at noon on WKMG News 6 at noon. Take care.